Hey, this is Reverend Bill Ryan, and it's just about 11:25 on April 12th. I was doing some thinking today, and I wanted to get a little bit more into how the devil operates in this world. Um, the reason why is because you see a lot of horror movies, and you see a lot of slashers, and actually, in the real world too, in the newspaper, you read a lot of senseless, crazy, um, senseless attacks, and whether it's a guy on the subway in New York for setting people on fire for apparently no reason, or you're watching movies like Halloween or Friday the 13th or any of the other nonsense movies. I don't watch them, by the way. They don't add any enjoyment to my life. Um, they don't, frankly, scare me. Um, Somehow, when you're fighting real evil, watching some guy running around with a machete attacking people, it seems, I don't know, petty and moronic, I suppose, when you've actually faced real evil. And make no mistake about it, the devil is real evil. Um, and basically, I've been thinking about. Let me talk about a couple of things. Let's go back to the coven that I've been battling now for 2 or 3 years. I'm not going to get too much into the history. I think those of you who've been following me probably are familiar with the fact that these people um, were actually the last people I would have thought would have been evil to me. There were people that I deeply had a lot of I had a lot of regard for. I knew them all my life. I regarded them as very very close, and I definitely would have given up my life for them in a heart second. I mean, really, no doubt. And to find out that they were behind everything that was going on, and the fact that I was actually going to them initially for help with them, and I was actually going to the enemy for help and talking to them about this, which was giving away all my feelings regarding the attacks, which they were doing. That was kind of a very vulnerable spot. And once I found out who they were and distanced myself from them with some help, I was able to track throughout the years a lot of mysterious and strange deaths that went on around them. And usually you can. And these deaths, they aren't easily attributed to them. Usually these deaths are strange. People getting a type of cancer that doesn't run in the family. Usually it comes about. See, cancer actually does run in the family. Cancer is not just cancer. There's different kinds of cancer. There's like colon cancer and breast cancer, and obviously smoking cancer that comes from smoking. Lung cancer comes from smoking. But usually a family that is not prone to I don't know, colon cancer. Colon cancer doesn't just usually pop up in one person. It usually has a trend. So that's why if you've got colon cancer in your family, it's good to follow up with colonoscopies because you do have it in the family, and it's smart to investigate. Well, when you start getting things that don't run in the family and they pop up and they're overly aggressive, doctors have a tendency to scratch their head, and also other things happening. If they don't have to even be deadly. People getting paralysis or get crippled suddenly, and the doctors can find no medical reason for it. This has actually happened more than a couple of times around these people. Um, and the doctors have no answer as to why these people can't walk. They just can't walk anymore. That is a sign of witchcraft. And if you look at throughout the history of these people, you'll find that people that are very close to them, um, they they've got a weird history of people having weird things happening to them, which is what I pieced together, and I brought that up to them, and that's one of the reasons why they put that death sentence on me. They realized I was getting too close, and while no one would probably believe me in a court of law, because how do you prove that these people gave someone colon cancer? Well, you can't, but they don't like to be exposed, and the very fact you're talking about it makes them very nervous. So that was when they decided that I had to go, and didn't do them very well, did it? I'm still here. Um, but yeah, that's the kind of thing where usually when doctors are very puzzled, they can't figure out why something is going on, but they don't have any clue because it transcends medical reason. Um, but anyway, I found out this past weekend. See, my first innate thought, because I'm truly a man of God. I In the early days, my first thought was, um, can I change these people? Can I bring them back to redemption? It was my first thought. Um, I would never think that now, because too much has gone by, and I realize the depths of their hatred of me, and their souls are black. There's no good in these people. So no, I could not, and I would never attempt um, to try to redeem these people. I do not think they are redeemable. Which gets me to a conversation I had with my wife over the weekend, and she said to me, "Well, They won't listen to you, obviously, because there's this whole matter of they want you dead. But do you think that maybe there might be someone else they would listen to?" Which, fair enough. And I sat back and I thought, and it occurred to me that any one these people would have listened to was long ago dead. And they were at the hands of these people. And it occurred to me that when the devil wanted to sacrifice, and he would want to sacrifice, by the way, that's how these people rise in the organization. If they kill people that are close to them, they give a sacrifice to Satan. And when they give the sacrifice to Satan, they get more power and they get a promotion. But the devil is not stupid. The devil knows how to take, as my father used to say, two bites of the same cookie. And what he's done is he's not only gotten them to commit to him through sacrifices of people that they love and admire, but he's also had them very strategically remove people that maybe later on down the line would have had a chance to talk some sense into them. Because when I sat back and I started thinking throughout the years of people who might have had a chance at maybe saying something that they may have listened to, they're all gone. I might be the only one left, and they won't listen to me. They want me dead. So, what I'm trying to get to is the devil is a great deceiver. He's actually, not only has he gotten these people following him, but he's got these people removing all their life support. So they don't have anyone but him now, him and their coven, which is also dedicated to him. So he's gotten rid of any of their moral, religious, or human support system. They're just truly evil now. And there's no one who can talk some sense into them. And the only one who would even be able to is right now number one on their hit list, which is me. Um, So it really is incredible the way that he actually can manipulate people. He is not some crazy guy like you see in these movies running around with a machete, killing people senselessly. He is very, very smart, and he is way ahead of us. And he's been doing this an awfully long time. Um, and I don't, and the funny thing is, I don't know what these people are getting out of it. I mean, as I mentioned in some previous podcasts, I look at these people and I don't see, the Kardashians, and I don't see Trump. I don't see people that are living on a palace upon a hill. I see people that are getting by, but not much else. And why they hate me so much, I don't know. I do okay. I mean, I'm not complaining. Hey, my car's over 20 years old, but I love it. Um, I like my house. I've got a comfortable life, but I don't have millions to throw around. I wish I did. I don't know what Satan's giving them. I mean, maybe he is giving them something on second heaven. That's the chaotic plane of that the devil and his evil angels own some of. I don't know, but there's nothing. I'll tell you what. There's no palaces for his people here. That's for sure. I have no idea what they're getting out of this, except an eternity of suffering. Um, but but the sad reality is that they don't seem to be getting anything for it. They have no family. They have no friends. They get some powers, but okay, they can cause illusions. I tell you what, I have, and I'm not a witch expert. I have seen some of what they can do. Um, there's a lot of illusions. I don't know how much is real and how much is not real. I know enough to assume that a lot of what I'm seeing isn't real. Um, that so it kind of calls into question how much is just uh, the ability to cause illusions, which I think is an awful lot, and what you're actually seeing is real. But the fact I'm trying to get to is they may have abilities to cause disease and to kill, and they can cause illusions. But that's nothing compared to what the Lord Jesus Christ can do. And I would actually ask all of you. You see, the power of the Lord is infinite. And if you have these witches attacking you, and and you just immediately fall to your feet and start praying to the Lord, I don't really know what He's going to do. My guess would probably be He'd get you out of immediate danger, and then He'd probably say somehow to you, "Who are you, and why are you praying to me?" Because He's probably not going to know who you are. He'll know who you are, but He's probably going to pretend not to know who you are. Like, where have you been? Um, It's one way or another. The point is, what I really think you should do is I think you should plan now and to get a relationship with Jesus. Because if He knows you, He will be there for you. And these minor powers of Satan and the witches will not be able to touch you, since the Lord came down to me and called me a sinner and told me not to sin. And I apologized and said I didn't know it was a sin, which was true. When I stopped doing it, had not been bothered by one witch. They've not been around me. They've not bothered me. His power is so much stronger than theirs. It's not even worth mentioning. And I encourage all of you to get on your knees and start a relationship with Jesus. And if you ever come across things like witch attacks or anything like that, make sure you have a very strong bond with Jesus, that He knows knows who you are. He knows who you are anyway. You know what I mean? He has a relationship with you. um, he accepts your prayers. He knows. Pray on the threes if you can. That He's very receptive if you pray on the threes, and it doesn't have to be anything too fancy. I'm not saying you have to pray for hours and hours and hours, but just get onto your knees and just think about something that He's done for you that's really spectacular, and just say, Lord, thank you for this, um, because that just means so much to Him, and He will be there for you. And these witches and Satans and all their spells mean absolutely nothing if you got the good Lord protecting you. Um, but anyway, that was just it. My thoughts for the day, and that is a couple of things here, and that is Satan is anything but senseless violence. He knows what he's doing. He's very smart, and we are not going to outsmart him. And the best thing we can do is we can seek out the Lord Jesus for his protection and his love and his kindness. And in order to do that, the first thing you've got to do is build a relationship with him. And he's wonderful to get a relationship with, and I highly recommend that for everyone. Anyway, that's it for now. This is the Reverend Bill signing off, and I will talk to you again soon. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. We can always use some fellow Christians on this podcast. Thank you. Bye bye now.